Welcome everyone on today's MetaCube community meeting. Today is 19th of March 2025. My name is Adam Rosman and I will be your host today. I think we can skip the introductions, and continue with reminders. Please remember that the meeting is recorded. If you would like to have the project with contributions, then look for the help wanted and good first issue labels. You can search for them via the GitHub issue filter, and by working on those and contributing to those, you would help the project a lot. And if you feel that your organization would like to be an official adopter of MetaCube, then you can do that by pushing a pull request and editing the adopters.md file in the root of the metacube-io /community repository, same way as the others have done. And then if you think that you are facing a issue related to a test or tests on your pull request, but you think it's not related to your changes, then please create a issue in the related or relevant repository. If possible, put this flaky test prefix in the name of the pull request and assign that or in the name of the issue and assign that issue into the MetaCube CI tracker project. And that way we can track it much more efficiently. Related to incubation, I have not heard any news other than the interviews have concluded successfully, and we are waiting for some additional steps to be done by the TOC. You can see those summary and feedback of the due diligence, and then the review of the due diligence results by the TOC. Okay, if you are interested about any of the artifacts or statistics, you can check them by clicking on the links below. I think we have not carried over anything except this should be carried over from last week. I will just put it under the reminders. It's still relevant. The CAPM3 multi-tenancy for CAPM3 proposal. Please take a look. And I think we can continue with the community working group updates. And then the first working group is the iRing scalability team. And Dimitri have some news or comments.
I have indeed. Hello, folks. I'm mostly working on the database side of the things, which means making an Ironic image and Ironic standalone operator operate within while having a persistent database and potentially even like a scalable persistent database. So we merged support for external database, which is something that is not MariaDB image. I haven't yet tried it with an actual external database. It's still tested through kind of creating, using MariaDB image just in a new way. I'm going to get there. It's a bit annoying to install MariaDB operator. I need to figure out how Helm works. And believe me or not, I still have no clue. I managed to successfully avoid Helm for all these years here. Other than that, yeah, there's one review request for patch that essentially disallows downgrades of Ironic when a persistent database is present, because Ironic does not support downgrades. We kind of glossed over this issue while we've been using SQLite because we rebuilt the database from scratch, but you cannot downgrade Ironic if Ironic is a real database, so there's that. And yeah, I'm still struggling with online data migrations. I'm slowly learning how jobs work in Kubernetes, and as everything is Kubernetes is sometimes very easy, sometimes really quirky and awkward. I believe I'm getting somewhere, but yeah, I forgot to add logs collection, so my patch failed and I don't know why. That's actually it. As always, help welcome. I will be able to do all this until roughly April, middle of April, end of April. at that point, I will have to switch over to something else, depending on priorities. So the more we achieve together by that point, the better it is for everyone. I hope to get some version of HA, at least as a tech preview, going. If I cannot do it, I cannot do it. So that's roughly my status. Things are progressing.
Thank you. That's all good news. And yeah, I really hope this will go well. I think this was merged. I'm just checking. Yeah. Okay. Okay. There would be now someone from the ARM work group, but still no one really formally took up the mantle. But we again had an issue asking about the ARM support. I will link that one, or we can actually quickly look for that because I think that's relevant. I think it was for the ironic image and might be actually a relevant question for some of you. Yeah, this one. Oh, we will see this during triaging, so we don't have to discuss it right now, but during the triage process, I think there is a growing interest, but uh, still no one to really maintain or hold together all these ARM efforts or support. So if anyone would be interested to lead this initiative, then please contact me, and then I would put your name on the same way as the release team members, and then we could start discussing and I surely can find someone who can help with the CI also, because we have this ability to provide CI for ARM in theory based on our GitHub runners. So just feel free to get in touch with me.
Yeah. So Dimitri here again. That is one of the things I'll start doing in April when I stop doing Ironic standalone operators. So you cannot put me down right now, but I'm. It will be either me or someone else from my team, but you can provisionally put me down as a lead here if you want to. Yeah, because we have vested interest in multi-arch, at least for virtual media. I don't know if we go as far as actually doing network booting stuffs, but at least I'm happy to coordinate a big contact point for this. Just there will be no updates until, yeah, late-ish April, I believe. And also to be clear, because there seemed to be some confusion, Ironic Image actually supports ARM, but only like ARM on ARM. What we do not absolutely support is, say, deploying an ARM machine from an Intel cluster. And that's pretty interesting because not so many people actually have full ARM clusters. But it's something we actually test downstream. ARM on ARM, at least in our downstream version of Ironic Image, it has worked for a few cycles. So it's not all lost cause.
Okay, that sounds good. I actually remembered you working on the ARM. Why I linked this here, because there was also this other comment that or question that are we willing to, or is it possible to do like multi-arch support? I wasn't entirely sure what multi-arch means in this context. Of course, we can build multiple arch architectures of the image, or but if the question is related to whether someone can manage with the same ironic like two ARM nodes and like two x86 nodes, I don't know if that's possible. Is that possible? Or
This is exactly the thing that is not possible right now.
okay.
You can have single architecture. You can have ARM or you can have Intel. We definitely need to start building multi-arch images. That's also a good topic. Because without that, it will be pretty tricky to install everything. Downstream, we have them. So we need upstream images also built for ARM. But then we need to tweak things around a bit, how, for example, IPA downloader works. because IPA downloader, actually upstream IPA downloader is only capable of downloading Intel images. So that's probably the point where ARM is not going to work out of box, even ARM on ARM. Then how these images are found and located would be interesting. So there's a few things to fix here and there. It's not like dramatic development, more like tweaking configuration in many places to make it happen.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, that's very good. I don't really have a use case for this at the moment, so I can actually comment on this. But yeah, I will just try to advertise you as a contact then for this ARM efforts and try to direct people to you then. Okay. Yep, thanks for the comments about that. I think we can continue with the release teams and the roadmap. I think this week, just let me quickly check here, we will do triaging, so not that much about the roadmap. Yep. And related to release team, yeah, I think Tomo, you have already listed all the most important thing that happened.
Yep. So we have been holding the BMO patch releases for some time now because we had this pending vulnerability coming, which was now fixed by Lennart, and then we published the 081 and 091 as a result. And hopefully that's the last of the BMO secret leaking bugs. And then related to the BMO multi namespace, getting rid of this RBAC that allows this in the first place. We are kicking up the priority on that on our side. Hopefully we can get us a secure default mode, and then we can have this current mode as a backup, and hopefully we can also make all the middleware support this kind of dynamic multiple namespace support that we actually wish to have, because that's where it's breaking right now. But yeah, more on that when that work progresses.
Thank you, and thank you for the folks who reported the security. They have been mentioned in the disclosure or credited, and thanks for Leonard fixing it and for everyone who participated in the security discussion. And then let's continue. The other one is from Ricardo related to the new Ironic image release.
Yeah, thank you. So we're very close to the new OpenStack release that will happen in 2 weeks. I'm talking about Epoxy or 2025.1. And so a new release for Ironic is actually happening this week, I think. It's going to be a stable release, meaning that it's going to have like long-term support, kind of. So after that is done, probably going to we're going to cut a new branch for the Ironic image and then release the new Ironic image, which should be 29.0.
That sounds good. Do you have any? Yep, go on.
No, I just saw your question actually there. I mean, I think it's doable. I don't expect to have the new branch before next week. Do you think you will be able to like have everything in place for then?
Yeah, I think there were no major changes requested in the comments, just minor needs here and there, like move files in other place or just tiny things. I have early adopters who already run it with read only, and it seems to be working.
All right. Just poke me before the end of the week this week, and I will have a look at the change.
Okay, thanks.
Ricardo,
Yeah.
should we take in the same release automation for Ironic Image as there are in for other repos? Do you wish to try it?
Wait, what you're talking about?
So we have this new release automation in place for the BMO and CapM3 and others, which is similar to what like Copy is doing. So instead of doing this manual tagging and stuff like that, you create a PR with release note, with the release note having the version you're planning to release, and then you merge it to main, and then automation does all the tagging and everything else.
I mean, yes, definitely. That sounds great. There are a couple of things I think that I will have to like have a look at how that works before applying it. Let's see if I have time this week. Otherwise, definitely, like for the next release, I'm happy to apply it if it's possible. I was just thinking that like there are some maybe things that I'm not sure how can be automated there. But again, I need to see how that works. So if you can,
I mean, it basically just pulls the similar kind of changelog what you do now, which the GitHub generates. You just put that into a PR basically, and then of course before you publish it, it becomes a draft in GitHub.
Okay.
So if you want to modify any of these, like what's happened in upstream Ironic, like these commit ranges or links to changelog, you have plenty of time before actually publishing it. But of course, it's better if it's all included in the release note as well. I mean, in the PR itself.
Right.
But I'm just saying that because we had it in IPAM first, then CapM3, they have been iterated there. Now we had first releases in BMO using this automation. It's broken, but I have now first-hand experience fixing it and how it actually works. So I could help you set up it, or just basically push the PRs and then we merge, and then I can walk you through how to make it, how to make a release.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the time to set that up, I can have a look probably this week. Maybe I'll show you, and just activate that because again, I think like the next cat will happen probably next week at some point. So I think we have time for that.
Yeah, it's not super complicated after you realize how it works. So,
all right,
I will try to make the PR later this week or early next week, so we can have it in place.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good.
Sorry, just remember one thing. After the Ironic image, we'll probably follow an Ironic standalone operator release. Probably.
That has to happen basically every time.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we have explicit compatibility code for each Ironic image release.
Okay, cool.
And yes, I actually like it to happen because we have a deprecation warning on Ironic database. So it's good to get it released so we can start getting rid of it in the next release cycle.
All right. So Yeah, I will just coordinate with you, Dmitry, to see if there's anything missing in IRSO, like after the ironic image cut. Okay.
Okay, continuation question to that. Are we now at the point that IRSO needs branches, or do we still go with just a single one?
I personally YOLO it's at least one more time, specifically because of this ironic database deprecation. Not having any branch there will potentially allow us to deprecate MariaDB image earlier.
Yeah, makes sense. It's completely up to you. I'm fine going with one.
Yeah, I still don't see any actual users of Ironic standalone operators, so there's no one to maintain branches for so far.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. My cursor is going absolutely crazy when I'm using Zoom. But yep, thanks for the discussion. Is there any other questions related to the IRSO ironic image releasing? If not, then let's continue with the discussion topics. And yeah, there are some PTAL requests from Tomo.
Yeah, I can see Dimitri actually handled the first one already. There was a standard question of running out of people to actually LGDM it. So, and then the second one is the long-standing question that how we format these docs now.
Yeah, I just withdrew my objection and approved this thing. So I don't think it makes sense to nitpick on this. It's a good addition, so I put my approval there. If anyone wants to GTM, go ahead.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
I think I've read this at some point. Forgot to do anything with it. Anyhow. Okay, that has been handled. Thanks for bringing these up. Then there is a interesting one from Ricardo. You say that UEFI fails with IPMI.
Yeah, so I'm playing with support for UEFI. So sorry, just to of course this I'm talking about the Metal Cube integration job that we have in the Ironic upstream CI, which works perfectly fine if you use legacy boot. But I'm playing since a while, trying to activate like the UEFI, which is the default now. And unfortunately, what I'm seeing is that after fixing some weird things related to logs and other things, so everything goes well in using the Redfish driver, but using IPMI, when the node, well, in this case, the VM tries to load the RAM disk, the deploy RAM disk, it just fails very, very early. And so, of course, the job fails. You can see the result if you go to view log. Let's stop right there. Yeah. And then controller. And should be libvirt, I think. Gosh, I forgot where did I take the. Yeah, it's libvirt and then QEMU, and then you open the node 0, serial 0 log. No, the other one. Yeah, that one, the serial console. Yeah. If you scroll down, you see that you have this exception when loading the deploy RAM disk. Now, I remember seeing something related to UEFI support in Ubuntu Noble, but I haven't. I was not able to kind of find that again. And also, I read something about the VirtIO net driver that somehow has like some weird issues again with UEFI recently, but again, nothing like I didn't go too deep into that. And yeah, that's the situation currently.
But does this even download it? It's the last one is 74% and then an exception.
Yeah, that's exactly like that's why I thought about an issue with the VirtIO net driver.
Yeah, because I was messing around with these things a lot also, and usually if it's the EFI itself, then you would see the EFI error when it tries to boot, or some EFI loading error, or some weird like something.c file is corrupted, or like usually those things.
Yep.
From yeah, but this is very very much the iPXE and even the iPXE script itself. So
Yeah, and the issue that I remember vaguely was actually related to loading iPXE using like for EFI in Ubuntu Noble. But again, it's something that I need to find again because it was some time ago, probably months ago. It's just like I just wanted to basically show this to you in case you found the same issue when testing. And of course, at some point, I guess we're going to move the CI to Ubuntu Noble. So I actually wanted to ask if like there is any plan to go into that direction soon.
yeah, that is a plan. I still don't know who will do it and when, because there is like complete agreement that we have to do it, and we have to do it as soon as possible. But there was no concrete action taken at the moment, so it's kind of in a limbo at the moment, as far as I understand. So, but we'll try to do it as soon as possible. Yeah. And then related to the error, I never seen this, but then I guess we can expect this for the Noble. But then, and this is just weird because in this stage, it has like, okay. So you say that the KVM QEMU build with the Noble's kernel or with some firmware or with something makes the simulated or like makes the iPXE firmware execution unstable. Like this is
Yes, I mean at least using IPMI, which is well kind of weird. But yeah, that's my conclusion at the moment. I'm going to run CI again a couple of times at least because I want to see more results to see if maybe something changes at some point, like in a different point, for example. But so far, what I saw is that only IPMI was failing.
that's quite weird
So,
because in this log, this is pure iPXE log.
yeah, exactly.
And then in our simulated environment, there is not even an IPMI hardware. There is just a VBMC. So that should have nothing to do with this. according to my understanding, like no direct connection between the things.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Okay, that's very weird. Okay, but thanks for sharing. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Is there any question related to this one or any idea? Someone might be hiding the knowledge. Oh, okay. Then the next one was also from you related to the CS9, CS10 testing building.
Thanks for like merging that change before. So I guess next step is on me again. I just introduced a variable to be able to add an argument so we can build the ironic image using CS9 and CS10 in the GitHub workflow that we have currently in the repository. And that's it. I mean, we'll talk about the E2E tests after the next changes are done. So that's all.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Any questions related to CS9, CS10 building? Although I think I discussed with everyone who is interested the tagging and all these things, we are in sync related to that. Okay, then there is one other thing, a review request from Dimitri.
Yeah, so I remembered recently that I had this bare metal hosted V1 beta 1 design. I decided to update it with a few things that were done since then. I'm gonna have like a possibility to work on something for a week, and maybe instead of torturing our Unix and drone operator, I take a look at this, but that's not a promise. In any case, I think it's useful to keep it up to date because people keep asking if we are gonna leave the alpha status eventually.
Yep, makes sense. Thanks. Should follow this. Okay. So please others take a look if you have time. And I think that was the last discussion topic. Is there any question, comment, anything related to the discussion topics? If not, then let's quickly go through the triage. Okay, copy v1.10 beta 0 has been released, ready for testing. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Next one, yeah, support for ARM architecture in images and multi-arch compatibility, and you both have given answers here. Yeah, I vaguely remember that there was an explicit issue related to multi-arch or like just generally like architecture changes or architecture support, and but it's not around anymore. So oh yeah, this was one, but this is not the one I was thinking about. This is purely sushi tool.
Yeah, I linked it in the comment the two PRs that I found. One was the sushi and one was this PR trying to do something about it.
Oh, that was a PR. I think I remember this one, this 502. Yeah. Then that's what I think then let's accept this, and this will be kind of the umbrella pull request, umbrella issue, because it's the most generic question or proposal or ticket.
Is it worth doing some sort of design doc on this? I mean, we seem to have some limitations from the ironic side, for example.
I mean, if at the moment, I mean, yeah, eventually, but at the moment, I would actually be okay or find it more flexible if we would just have a section in the user guide explaining the quirks of this. Like we mostly have kind of limitations, not anything explicit yet. It's not some switch that we can flip or anything, as I understand. So. Okay, next one, RFE generates secret with clouds.yml. Okay, I mean, I'm fine with this. Think. That's why we have the feature. Okay. This is the in-memory provider. That's used for. I don't think it's even in tests. It's just the development tool that we use, this in-memory provider, that was useful for solving one issue in particular with the scaling, if I remember correctly. But yeah, but I think the fake ironic stuff and a bunch of things was tested. And then we won't work on this, so I think these folks should know about this. And then these are the old ones, old things. None of these have any. That's all this tail. And yeah, I remember all these. No need to check. So we just have to check the tail. IP is not released after deleting IP claim. And this was confirmed as a problem. And then I remember that we added some documentation. And we are not planning to completely fix this. This is not stable. I think this was handled. And then update user explosion again. And I think this can go to Stelius and then support using ionic object to, oh yes. This is very, very good. And I will remove the stair. I was reading it yesterday. Nice. Okay, so that was all the triaging and all other things. Is there any question, comment, anything you would like to discuss? Advertise, anything? Okay, if nothing, then thanks for your time and thanks for participating in these good discussions, and let's meet next week, same time. And until then, have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.